Okay, so AI is changing the whole data center landscape, probably almost like never before. We've never seen it, and the pressure's on therefore to keep pace with high performance compute, high density workloads. What are you seeing, if you like?
Oh, the AI power computing is really one of the biggest changes now in the data center world. We will see that on having new sites, new ways, as you know, with the edge. But also the point is the design itself in the data center will change, because these new computers and applications, they're driven by the new applications, will deserve much more and different support from all these operation technologies, and will really change also the design of the data center.
Okay, and I guess there's a whole new, as you sort of alluded to there, a whole new approach required when it comes to things like rack size, power demand topologies. So how fundamental, drastic, whatever, is that change we're going to see?
In the beginning, we see that these players who are businesses based on data are really running that on a high pace. So they increase the density of these machines. The machines becoming more complex. So that means racks themselves will pack much more with the computers. They become heavier. With this weight, for sure, we will have to anticipate the rack's dimensions. The next step is when you have more power in the rack, it has to be also reflected how to get the power inside. So there will be a change in the power solutions. And with that, also with the power demand, you need also then new cooling. And with cooling, we know all, it will be a transition now from the pure air cooling to the liquid cooling. And this for sure deserves also new designs, new technologies. And we see there also, especially with the cooling on the liquid side, also new players coming, incumbents we have. That will be a very interesting journey, especially on that one. Last, for our area with the connectivity, even there it's the point with the latency and with the data volume. So we also, from the connectivity, although it's not on the top head of every operation manager, we have to anticipate the solution. And that will be a new design, new solutions in terms of connectors, and even also the demand to have much more structured cabling solutions to be really ready then for this deployment.
I guess as well there's also an emphasis on sort of flexibility and scalable data center infrastructure. So is that something else you're sort of seeing people needing to prepare for?
Yes. Let's say we have now, as I said, the starting point of the AI with the big data players, but a lot of players also in the industry, enterprises, are now thinking of how to digitalize their business. So we have now the starting point even from the standard data center setup to an AI-driven setup. So that means even constructions or consultants, integrators have to think of how to enter this world, and even later on, when it's only 10 or 20% of their deployment, how to transit then from these 10, 20 to take over the rest also. So there's really a need then for longer lasting planning to get into this new world. And that means modularity, structured approach, to have then really a story and also a path to go into that new areas.
Okay, and maybe just finally, we've covered quite a lot of ground, but I know you fairly recently launched the IntelliFi 6.0, I think, so just be good to understand what's new in this latest release.
Yeah, that's one of our deserved support, especially for the operation managers. So as you know, operation managers have two main duties. That's the asset management, so that means to know what's stored in their data center. And the second one is the operation efficiency, what's happening in the data center. And let me highlight two new features. So on one side, and that's related also to the new topology in the data centers, that means we're coming from the on-premises, we have now the cloud solutions, but now it's coming also the edge. A lot of the market are now talking only about AI, but at the end, we still need the edge. And for this edge, so these lost in space sites, that's the new function in IntelliFi. It's implementing the GIS, so we can have now the map also in our software, which means the operation manager has now the chance to manage also these remote sites. So that's one nice feature, what we added. The other one, which is more related to the operation efficiency, we have implemented now our PDU portfolio, which is also adding sensorics. So that is on the path then to help the operation managers also in getting idea what's happening. in the data center and getting also these informations then and showcasing that in our IntelliFi. So the monitoring of the situation in a data center will be improved, as two examples.
Okay, so what we've been talking about, I guess, is that modular integrated data centers, MIDCs, they're meeting the demands that we've been talking about. So perhaps it'd be good if you can tell us the benefits. I mean, I'm thinking sort of fast, efficient, sustainable deployment, optimized cooling. So, but please, tell me all the benefits that these solutions can provide.
Yeah, sure. So in the first place, it's one of the main benefits is that you have the possibility for fast deployment. So if you're thinking about a new data center, usually it takes a long time, in years we're talking, and with these systems you're able to do it within weeks, and you are able to do it much more clean, because you can do a lot of the stuff not on site, do it before in a clean work environment, not on the maybe dusty environment of this construction site where you have the data center. Another point is that you have, due to this closed system, very good energy efficiency. So you can calculate much better before what will be there on site with this closed system, instead of this very complex systems with the building infrastructure and so on. So you have these points, and also there's scalability. So if you want to add on more power later, you can just put another module in there of this modular integrated data center, and then you have much more power.
And other things like sort of remote management, reduced energy uses, are those other sort of potential benefits for the systems?
Yeah, with the software, you're able to do much more from remote. So you're able to do more of the things. You're not need to go to the site.
Yeah.
You're able to put more maybe of this modular on different sites. So as Carsten was telling about these edge centers, you not need to go to every site. You can just go via software and take a look. Okay, maybe there's an issue with the humidity in the system, and you're able to have much more if this integrated system is used as a standalone solution.
And obviously we've been talking mainly AI, and the MIDC is relevant for that, but I think they also suitable for lots of other applications. So tell us where else they find a sweet spot, if you like.
Yeah, sure. So if you think about healthcare sector, you have a lot of different sites on other places. So this helps a lot to have there one small system in every site. So you're able to deploy it very fast and have the scalability. So maybe if there comes a new medical device which needs a lot of AI power or calculating power, you can just put this in place there. And also if you think about disaster reconstruction, so you're able to have very fast deployment, as I said. So you're able to have it very fast, and this is one of the things you need after something like this would happen.